Emotional manipulation is one of the most dangerous forms of control because it's subtle. It doesn't leave bruises. It doesn't scream abuse. Instead, it slowly chips away at your self-esteem, clarity, and sense of reality. You may not even realize it's happening until you're a different version of yourself, anxious, confused, always second-guessing. Here are the deep signs you're being emotionally manipulated. 1. They make you feel guilty, even when you did nothing wrong. Manipulators are masters of guilt. They twist situations to make you feel responsible for their pain, mistakes, or bad mood. You find yourself apologizing often, not because you were wrong, but because they made you feel like you were. 2. They use your insecurities against you. You opened up about your fears and weaknesses in trust, but now, they weaponize those very things. In the middle of arguments or power plays, they bring up your past, your doubts, or your soft spots to gain control. That's not love. That's manipulation. 3. You constantly feel confused or off balance around them. One moment, they are kind and affectionate. The next, cold and distant. This hot and cold pattern keeps you emotionally unstable, always chasing their approval, trying to figure out what went wrong. That confusion. It's intentional. It keeps you hooked. 4. They gaslight you. They make you question your memory, your instincts, even your sanity. You recall a situation clearly, but they deny it happened. Or they downplay your feelings, you're being dramatic. You're too sensitive. Over time, you stop trusting yourself, and start trusting them instead. 5. They play the victim, every time. Manipulators rarely take responsibility. Every failed relationship, every workplace conflict, every falling out, somehow, they were always the innocent one. If you bring up a concern, they twist it so you end up comforting them instead of resolving the issue. 6. They use silent treatment, or withhold affection to punish you. Instead of resolving issues like adults, they withdraw, emotionally or physically, to make you feel anxious, scared, or desperate to fix things. They'll give you the cold shoulder until you come crawling back, even if you did nothing wrong. 7. They constantly shift blame onto you. Even when they clearly mess up, somehow the blame circles back to you. I wouldn't have said that if you didn't provoke me. You made me act like that. This behavior creates a toxic environment where you're always the problem, and they are always the victim. 8. You feel like you're walking on eggshells. You constantly filter your words, emotions, and actions to avoid upsetting them. This isn't because they are fragile, it's because they are controlling. You start sacrificing your truth just to keep the peace. That's not peace, it's silent suffering. 9. They use love as a weapon. They say things like, if you really loved me, you would, or no one else would ever put up with you. They use affection, loyalty, or even your fear of abandonment to control your decisions. That's not love. That's emotional blackmail. 10. They isolate you from people who care about you. Manipulators know they lose control once you start getting clarity. So they slowly turn you against your friends, family, or anyone who might speak truth into your life. You'll hear things like, your best friend is jealous, or your family never really liked me. The goal? Cut off your support system so you become dependent on them. 11. You no longer feel like yourself. You used to laugh more. Dream more. Stand tall. Now you feel drained. Small. Uncertain. That shift isn't random, it's the slow erosion caused by constant emotional games. If you look in the mirror and barely recognize your own reflection, something deeper is happening. 12. They make you doubt your worth. At some point, you begin to believe you're the one who's hard to love. You convince yourself that you're too emotional, too demanding, too difficult. But this self-doubt is the result of repeated emotional manipulation, not the truth of who you are. In conclusion, emotional manipulation is a silent poison. It doesn't destroy you overnight, but gradually. The longer you stay, the harder it is to see clearly. If you recognize these signs, understand this: you are not crazy. You are not too much. You are not the problem. You deserve love that doesn't confuse you. You deserve connection that doesn't hurt. And most of all, you deserve the freedom to be fully, fearlessly yourself, without having to shrink for anyone's comfort. Pay attention to the signs. Don't explain them away. And if needed, walk away, even if your heart still whispers to stay.